Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're back. Today, Rob and I are going to be talking about divine life purposes and how to heal the layers of our mind. We all kind of come here with a divine purpose, but we don't really know how to attain that purpose or to navigate through the world in a way that we reach that level. And I have some questions for Rob today about that. And hopefully it will be engaging for everyone. How are you, Rob?
I'm very well. Thanks, Holly. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. So my first question is, what is the top layer of our mind and how do we see the world from that vantage point?
All right. We have shared that slide before, and I believe in some repetition because when you see something multiple times, then you see more and more and more. The top layer is really where we spend our life in. Unfortunately, this top layer has been promoted in the Matrix, and there's a little understanding about what's beneath it, which we will address soon. This top layer is the life we see, is the life we experience. This is sort of the physical results level. This is where we experience symptoms. This is where we experience successes. This is where we experience failures, and it's just what meets the eye. Now, as we dig more and more into a deeper psychology of it, unfortunately, this top layer over time also created a lot of cover-up stories and fake roles. I don't think it takes a whole lot of explanation to really make people realize that we've been just living a gigantic, confusing, strange life. And a lot of the roles we played were to not rock the boat, to not get in trouble, to not be fired, to not have to go through the breakup and a lot of the pains. This region is where what we call history. This is the region that is a representation of 2% of our mind. And this is unfortunately where most people are searching for answers. So as we, move through this presentation or this interview, then I'll share a lot of interesting information about what's causing all this on the top layer, the invisible stuff.
Thank you. And what is the other 98% of our mind doing?
Really good question. And I wish more people asked that. But, fortunately, as consciousness rises, more and more people are asking this. The other 98% is that gigantic warehouse that you and I, made a video about. This is where a lot of our memories are, all of our past lives are, all of our, everything is really. This is the container of our Akashic records. This is the container of all of our traumas. And basically, this is that region where so few people feel comfortable and also competent to navigate through. And the answers to life, who am I, why am I here, how to make my life better, actually lie here in this region. The answers that we are looking for can only be uncovered when we understand this region and the questions we need to ask, and we understand the layers that we have to move through, because the lower we go in terms of the layers, the more we will find, the more answers we will find. And some answers are not pretty. So that's why I always mention that a mentorship is necessary for us to move through these layers of the mind. And you'll see why, because you will eventually want to get to our meaning and divine purpose. And I'll show you where that is on this chart.
Wonderful. And if someone is struggling with these types of things that we've discussed, these types of feelings, and kind of unsure how to get into that lower part, the deeper, trauma, kind of unconscious way of thinking, where does someone start? Like, what would be the starting point for someone? Would it be to start writing down how they're feeling? Would it be to reach out to a mentor, like you mentioned? What would be the first step for someone who doesn't really know what to do?
I really love that question because people have been left out in the cold, let's face it, for many, many, many decades, not really knowing where to start. Because if people find out the information about the mind, it can feel quite overwhelming. So one of the first things that I recommend is to get my book called Mastering Your Mind, because in the book I describe the language of the mind. It will give people a really good understanding of how the unconscious mind speaks, what language it uses, and it will also help them break through. That's what I used to ask from all my private clients many years ago when the book first came out, is to please read it, work through some of this stuff, and then I will help you continue on with the more difficult stuff. We also offer online courses, and the first step I recommend is our course called Master Yourself, Master Your Life. It is available on our website. People can contact us if they have any questions about it. And what's really nice about that course is that it gives people the first several steps necessary in the healing. You've heard me say this before, that there's a system to healing. And I met many people who don't know that system. And I met many, and a lot of those people are not able to really fully become masters of their lives because a lot of foundational steps were skipped. And without them, the subsequent steps are not going to be able to stick around. So that's what I would recommend. Get the book, read the book, reach out for coaching, and then we'll get the ball rolling.
Thank you. And I know from personal experience that the master course has been instrumental, paramount, really, in kind of like my ability to dive into these things and understand them. So thank you. And lastly, what does living through our divine purpose look like? What does that feel like? How is it different than how perhaps we live, on a day-to-day basis?
When you look at most people's lives, and it used to be probably ours, yours, and mine as well, it is a very predictable and repetitive process with typically successes and failures and just a whole lot of emotional ups and downs. What we would like deep down is to really move upward, save some money, have a good, retirement, and so on and so forth. But it is not going to happen because the old matrix wasn't really designed to allow purpose and success to fully emerge together. If we want purpose and a financial reward, then we have to exit the matrix, and that's a very difficult process. And once we do that, what you'll find is that a lot of miracles start happening. Your divine purpose is very different from mine. My divine purpose is very different from someone else's. Each and every one of us, we have our unique gift. And when you begin to live that unique or share that unique gift and live in that purpose, then life becomes effortless. It becomes such that you will want to get up in the morning. You will want to be sharing your gift. You will be excited about doing it because it is such a genuinely, authentically you. It's an authentic part of you that does not need any cover-up stories. It will come from the heart and not from the mind. You'll be able to just glow and flow, and people will pick up on that. And that's what's going to become more and more natural in the coming new world as we move up to 4D and 5D and 6 and 7, 8D and up, is that a lot of this, what we call the matrix, the struggles and the hamster wheel lifestyle will disappear. We'll have to really reshift our focus to benevolence, to work on our spirituality, to release a lot of our traumas, a lot of our negative experiences. And once we do that, our divine gifts will become accessible to us, and we will not self-sabotage them through our unresolved issues. So the way it is for me, I'll tell you this, and it is not an on-off switch where yesterday I was not living in my purpose, but today I am. I tapped into it and it was frustrating, so I took a step back. Then I tapped into it again and it was scary, so I took a step back. And a lot of people go through that. We test it, we try it, it feels good, but then all of a sudden we wonder if it's really if people of the world are interested in it. Because in the old Matrix, it was all about hamster wheeling and chasing money, chasing the almighty dollar, and we completely ignored the one thing that we came here to do, which is to heal ourselves and share our divine gift. So it's all changing. And then, when you, through these experiences, you realize that you've got this blockage and that blockage and this self-sabotage and so on and so forth. You remove them, you release them, you integrate them. And then you, at one point, will be very comfortable staying in your purpose without having to retreat and catch your breath. So that's where I am today. That's why you see me share pretty much my gift that cost me, 13 years. I shouldn't say cost me, because I did it willingly, but really, but for the sake of the conversation, let's say it cost me 13 years of my life, dedicated effort, time, my life savings, and everything else. I cannot describe, because it's not about a monetary cost. It's an investment. So for me, I can best speak from personal experience. Me being here, able to really help humanity rise to the next level, is my gift. It has many sub gifts in it, but that's what I'm here to do, is to help guide humanity to the next level, into 4D and higher, through the renewing of their subconscious mind, and renewing their mind through releasing the traumas and healing them and teaching them, creating really strong and competent coaches who can help me do this job. And then together, then we'll bring this whole new civilization to a new level of awareness and a new level of benevolence that we have not really known before.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. And how does living through your divine life purpose, how does that affect or change your health, your physical health? How does that improve that part of our life?
What a great question. This is not something that I heard being asked a whole lot of times. Basically, when you do this, when you reach your divine purpose and you really remove all the resistances, because we have quite a lot of resistance, you cannot get sick. You cannot get ill. You're going to be having this very interesting glow. What in the advanced spiritual community, we call this the underglow. The underglow comes from your heart. And people will pick up on that. Now, in the old Matrix, it scared a lot of people because it's not usual. We developed a lot of distrust towards each other, understandably. But in the new coming world, a lot of the distrust will have to be healed and dissolved. And then people will not feel intimidated by or each other's divine gifts and this special underglow that we carry in our heart, because it can only be delivered from the heart, truly. So when you operate from the heart, when you really share your divine gift without reservations, without, any intimidation, it also guarantees perfect health.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today, and we'll meet again soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
All right.
And we'll
Bye.
bye now.